Hi guys, I'm actually back to school now. This is January 9th. Yesterday was the first day of school. I went back to school, and so far so good. Everything's well. Three out of four of my classes focus pretty much is creating a garment. Unlike last quarter, I was pretty much focusing on different aspect of design. Um, I'm much more comfortable this quarter because I'm much more familiar with the campus, and also I know I know more people in school, and some of the people in the San Diego campus moved to the LA campus, so that's great. I'm much more comfortable this quarter. My main intentions for this blog is I never really had an opportunity to share to you guys the classes that I have. These are the classes, pretty much. Classes that I have taken so far. So I just want to give you guys a quick overview what those classes are all about. In my first quarter, I had taken Fashion Sketching 1. Fashion Sketching 1 technically helps you to learn how to draw a croquis in a proper form. What is a croquis? It's a fashion figure, and then you, you get to draw a different fashion figure from male to female to baby to teen, and you get to learn how to draw it properly and shade them properly. Industry sewing, and this is technically a beginning sewing class. If you have never done sewing before, you're pretty much going to learn the basic sewing skills, from learning how to throw a dart to how to gather, how to crimp, what is proper seam allowance, different type of sewing techniques. Effective speaking, pretty much a speech class that you take, pretty much do speech. Color and design theory. Color design theory is a lot more artistic. It's a lot of art. It focuses on the color wheel and how the color wheel affects different artistic style, or artistic style from contemporary to modern art, and you create projects from there. um, Western survey art, Western of survey of Western art 1 is technically a study of different era, starting from prehistory, from Christianity, giving you an overview what those eras all about. And then, if you really suck at English, you do have to take writing skills. If you fail your test, technically, okay. And my second quarter, I taken a fashion sketching 2. It's a continuation of fashion sketching 1. This one, however, teaches you how to render a figure in clothes. You coloring it properly, allow and teach you how to render. Oh, if you guys don't know what render is, pretty much coloring. Um, how to render jeans, how to render corduroy, make it more look realistic, make it more three-dimensional. That's pretty much what the purpose of that class. Fundamental draping and pattern drafting is technically the base, beginning class. This pretty much teaches you how to create a pattern from draping to putting it in a dotted paper, pretty much transferring it to paper, and then putting it in a manila paper, which is going to be your pattern. And then you pretty much, whatever pattern you guys created, you create a garment out of that. Um, Textile science for fashion design. Pretty much what you're going to be doing is studying different, this is going to be your book. You pretty much study different fabrics, fiber contents, all of those stuff. So this is going to be your best friend, because pretty much you're going to be referring to this book. Pretty much gives you pretty much going to be studying different contents of the fiber, what different kind of weaves, different kind of knits, and all of those things. This quarter, you also have to take English composition if you're good in English. But if you're not, you still have to take the writing skills, then you take the English composition. This quarter, I'm actually taking history costume. History costume technically pretty much focuses study of different costume from different era. Yes, Western survey pretty much study the era itself. However, history costume studies about the costumes in those era and how those affected the fashion industry, how those type of style contributed to the fashion industry. You also get, I'm also taking two different types of creating pattern classes. The first one is pattern drafting essentials. Pattern drafting essentials technically is a class where you um, create patterns based on using measurements and math. Oh, trust me, there's math. So you have to learn how to create patterns solely based on that. The other one is also another way of creating patterns, but this one is creating patterns solely based by draping, which is putting the fabric on the form and creating patterns out of that. So that's pretty much it, the classes that I've taken so far. Um, I mean, just a quick note, a lot of these classes are hands-on class. That's why it makes it so much difficult, because a lot of these classes are very, very time consuming. If you're going to be going to the school, you need to make sure your devotion to this class is 100%. Because if you actually, this is what I've learned, if you make a mistake in one thing, it will affect the rest of your project. Like for instance, if you're making a pattern and you didn't create your pattern properly, by the time you cut the fabric and sew it together, it's not, the garment's not gonna look good. So that's pretty much what I was pretty much speaking in behalf of how is it important for you guys to focus on these classes if you were to actually consider going to the school. Is is it easy? No, it's hard. A lot of people actually that have had college degree before going to FIDM have said that it is much more difficult to go to FIDM than to a regular college, because a lot of the classes that you're taking is not solely based on memorization. You have to do handwork, and you also have to go to school a lot of times. Even not only school time, you have to go to the labs, because that's the only way you're gonna able to finish your project. That's why a lot of the student lives close to the campus if you can afford to. um, I mean, yeah, so far that's pretty much my classes that I've taken. I will try my best to try to make this blog much more interesting. I mean, I'm still glad that you guys are still, hitting me up with questions and everything like that. Um, I do apologize from some of the questions I can't answer, because unfortunately I don't focus some of those majors like footwear and all those things. I only specialize on questions on fashion design degree. But if I happen to find somebody that can answer that question, I would gladly put them before you and answer those questions for you. But for the meanwhile, I do apologize for those questions for fashion, for shoe design, product development, all those things. Um, I will try to start blogging more based on variety of different student opinions. I don't know how am I gonna go about doing that, but I will try to see what I can do. Maybe bring my laptop or something like that. But I will try to change the different dynamics on this blog to make it much more interesting for you guys. But like I said, thank you for all the support and all the questions. Like I said, with your questions and support, I would not be doing this in the first place. So I hope this blog will help you, and I hope that so far I've seen impacts in people's decisions, so I'm glad. Stay in touch, and I will see you guys next time.